Okay. But no, I'm actively having fun with Star Rail, and I'm kind of excited to try to get into some other gotchas. I tried to get into Aether Gazer, but the problem with it is that there's no PC client, and I'm definitely someone who like wants the option. If I don't have the option, I'm immediately gonna get turned off.
Not a fan
Meanwhile,
of...
I don't want the only way for me to play the game is to have it on my cell phone, because that's limiting. Because even if I get a really good
Well, I was gonna say not a fan of BlueStacks.
Login with the employee ID emailed you. Oh, I totally forgot to do that.
You fool. How could you?
I totally forgot to set up eHub, and now they wanted me to do it. Because, like, for me, it's like, I don't... Ooh, okay, minor kerfuffle while getting noms will be in shortly. No worries. We're just gonna talk to the audience and chitter-chatter away. But no, Aether Gazer being mobile only, and, like, I only have so much of a battery life on my phone. And I use my phone for other things, so, like, once I get to 30%... I need to, like, conserve my energy so that I can use my phone for other things. So to me, it's like, well, if the only way I can play this game is on my phone, that just limits my availability to play it. And the more inconvenient something is for me to get into, the less likely I'm going to come back to it. Which is why... I feel like for a lot of people, it's so easy to get into Hoyo-specific gacha games because they're off the phone.
Hey, hey Baz.
Yeah.
Do you know what BlueStacks is?
I tried it. I don't like it.
Fair enough.
It's very limited, and half the time I tried working with it, it just didn't want to load correctly. It's a very finicky program.
Yeah.
But then that's just gonna be the case. Like, that's even BlueStacks is a great example. Is that if I have to go through that many hoops just to play your game on a format that I prefer, it's not worth it.
And
that's purely just me. Like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, woe is anyone who dares do this. Like, no, it's just you lost me as a customer. It just is what it is.
I was just gonna be like, if you said no, I would have grabbed Ara and thrown her at you, because that's what she uses to play a lot of her gacha games.
I downloaded it, and I was able to log in and fiddle with it, but, like, you know when, like, have you ever, like, hooked up, like, an HD device onto an old, like, analog TV?
I'm trying to, like...
Am I just speaking old man gibberish to you right now?
No. I get what you mean, but the only ones I know of never had HDMI cable, so I'm like, I'm trying to find the generation in my brain that had it.
Shut up. I'm saying using a device where it's HDMI in, but it's analog out.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
And you know how crappy that looks and how, like, it's really hard to ignore it?
Yeah.
That's
what... know the worst part?
Yeah.
That's my second monitor.
But, like, that's what I mean, is that, like, that's what BlueStack is for me. Like, I tried it, I see the appeal, and I'm like, nah, just get a PC client.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Because that's what we're talking about.
Son of a bitch!
But no, it's why, like, Honkai was very easy for me to keep up with. That was a very interesting bring in. I appreciate it. find that, like, the other game I'm gonna be... Obviously, when Triple Z comes out, I'm hoping, like, February-ish. Like, I don't want to wait too long to get my hands on that game. It looks very much my cup of tea. But there's another action gacha game called Punishing Gray Raven, and it looks like it's very up my alley. So that one's also got a PC client, so I downloaded that, and I'll be, like, trying to dip into that on stream in the near future. Yeah, because it's like, the thing that really has me by the throat for Punishing Gray Raven is that, like, it's proper-looking Devil May Cry with just a little bit more anime cinematics into it. So I'm excited for it. Meanwhile, I'm enjoying Honkai Star Rail again. Like, damn. Like, I get why I got burnt out originally, but the things that made me burn out and get annoyed before just aren't bothering me now. And I'm like, oh shit, here I go. And I'm the kind of person that actively...
How dare you perfectly sell a gacha game to me?
I mean, here's... Oh, Punishing Gray Raven. PGR is very much like Star Rail, where, like, it's... All gachas are predatory on some level, let's not sugarcoat it. But if you're someone who can play a game for, like, tens of hours and then decide you want to buy the battle pass, like, PGR is one of those gachas. It's honestly what grabbed me with Star Rail is that, like, I put in... I want to say I've got at least 20 hours into Star Rail. I've maybe spent $40 on the game in total. And more than half of that time has been going through the story mode and the quest lines. Like, it's very well made. A part of me wishes I could get into and enjoy Genshin, but, like, I don't like the battle system, and I don't like a lot of the character concept. Well, less so the concepts. I don't like the aesthetics of the world, per se. It's just a little too cutesy anime. Whereas Star Rail, it's like people have angles and, like, actual, like, adult proportions to their body and faces. Like, there's a clear line between, oh, this is a child, and no, this is an adult.
Yeah, I definitely see that. The... What the fuck?
If you guys sniff the air, you can smell copper as Miles' brain's bleeding.
Alright, I didn't get any sleep, so fuck you.
But then, something that really has me about Zenless is that, like, it's kind of like a mixture of the two styles, and then just super, like, comic book line art to it. Like, oh god, the animation is so good in Zenless. They didn't have to go that hard, but I'm so glad they did.
Okay, I got it. So, Genshin is Sailor Moon, and then, Star Rail is like One Piece.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, Sailor Moon is so cutesy and stuff, it's like, it's adorable. That person's 16. The fuck? What do you mean she's 16?
Yeah.
Why do her legs look like tree trunks?
Well, I would say it doesn't go that ridiculous. Honestly, it's more so for me the issue that a lot of the Genshin characters look too much like children. Even the adults look too much like children to me.
Oh, I know that. But the thing is, it's like, you say she's 16 at the beginning of the show, right? You see her at the ending, she's supposed to be 25.
Really?
Yeah.
You would not be able to know.
Hell no. She still looks 16.
But with Star Rail, it's like there's a very clear line between small child, adolescence, and then the people you actually are allowed to thirst at if you're not a monster.
Mm-hmm.
And something besides Clara, which that's a whole other character, I feel like most of like the adolescent and child characters are less to be gawked over and more to be like, oh, precious bean, I pat your head. There's something about Clara's design that makes me think there are perverts. There are perverts who want that character. And it bothers me because Clara and her robot bodyguard are fucking cool as shit. Like, they're really fun. And I just look at these characters and I'm like, I'm really glad you're the only character that looks like this in Star Rail.
That's something I always find really interesting in character design.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I know they
You need to speak up a little bit, bud.
Yes, of course. It's a problem I know they've had with League, where it's like we've made this character really cutesy, but we've also repeatedly drawn this character in a semi-adult manner that kind of blurs the line between whether or not they're thirstable or not.
Yeah, like there's this one character that they released not long ago that's like a pink-haired vampire chick, right?
Yeah.
And her whole thing is that, like, yeah, she's a vampire, but, like, she's also canonically has the body of, like, a 13-year-old. And, like, a lot of the promotional material draw her e-girly. It's the best way, I think, to say it.
No, yeah, that's pretty much on point. And it's like, I think one of the problems I always have is like, okay, the way you utilize the character when you're in the game wouldn't steer you this way. But the way you promoted the character attracts a certain fan base.
Yeah. And like that's how I feel about characters like Clara in Star Rail, because her whole thing is that like she's this white-haired girl, probably no more than 12 or 13. She's got like this big red jacket and skirt on, and she's wearing no shoes in a world full of tundra. And like most of her design is her legs and her feet. Other than that, it's like the thing that draws your attention with your eyes is like her red outfit. And it's like, this gives off problematic appeal. And it sucks because the other part of her character is like her giant boss-ass robot bodyguard who is like the real fighter. And it just makes me think, why did we get Clara? Why didn't we just get the robot? Why wasn't the robot just the character? Like, Clara could have been like a side thing to the design, but like, fuck. Thankfully, again, I feel like Star Rail doesn't have any more character designs like that the rest of the way through. Like, there is gonna be a really cool dapper robot character that comes into play later, and everyone really wants him. It's like, fuck yeah, it's such a cool design, gimme. I feel like Hoyo is playing more in its other games designs that are not supposed to be outright waifu or husbando bait, but just genuinely good designs. Again, the two of the designs I want from Zenless are the big fuck-off Russian bear and the wolf that has robotic Star Fox legs.
Awesome. Oh, by the way, there's a mod that gives Clara
Okay. I've been suffering this whole time because I was like, oh, I don't know who Clara is. Let me look up an image. Please look at memes.
Oh, I'm looking at memes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I saw that. By the way, we're all here.
Oh my god, I'm dying. All these promotional images.
Yeah. So like the thing that you posted is very cursed and is unrelated, but this is essentially the design.
It's the first image that popped up on Google is why I'm suffering, because I was like, why?
And like, she's a fun character. She's adorable. I want to pat her head and feed her soup. But like, man, does the... And the other good thing is that the game doesn't go out of its way to sexualize her, which is very nice. But it's like it makes me wonder, Hoyo, are you naive? Because like it feels like you're naive because nothing else about how Clara is gives off that vibe. It's just the design.
Can we talk about Pathfinder now?
Never.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. The Bachelor has spoken.
Oh shit. We lost Miles
I don't
there
wanna-
for a second.
I don't want to talk about sexualizing 13-year-olds.
Don't phrase it like I'm
I'm out.
doing this on purpose.
I'm out.
What third?
Well, we had a
All right,
good run.
all right.
folks.
Everyone, just leave the channel for a second and let's just get a cleansing from that sentence.
Of course.
All right,
Worm
now
has
it's
to
time
do
for
it in order to play the
Pathfinder.
music.
That's the only reason I did it.
So, last time when we all got together, we learned a lot. We learned a hell of a whole lot. Cade, would you like to tell us what all we learned? Since it was very, Beckett focused.
Oh boy, drama ahoy. So, after the fight with the
Ditch
Clint,
racing.
let's call him Clint. After the battle with Clint, the group decided to try and track down the assailant, aka Wolfgang, which went fairly well, surprisingly. While Wolfgang was able to summon other followers in order to continue running, Markov and Z absolutely refused to allow that to happen and slammed him down in his tracks to force him to be captured. However, once captured and in a moment of severe desperation, Wolfgang decided to consume the metallic mercury-like ooze from the dragon that had infected the townspeople. Afterwards, remind me, did Wolfgang disappear?
So
No, one of the guards killed him.
yeah.
Right, thank you.
So Wolfgang managed to sort of slip out of the guard's grasp, went to chug the
Little
metallic goop, and in the process of doing that, one of the guards killed Wolfgang, and we surmise that while Wolfgang is probably temporarily indisposed, their connection with the metallic dragon saved them from permanent death.
Afterwards, the team decided to investigate Wolfgang's hideout, if they were able to find it, which thankfully they did. Once they did, they found a laboratory filled with bits, pieces
offal.
of failed experiments. Some that Rat may or may not have recognized. He was unsure
Allegedly.
how or unsure why. At least at the moment. However, Wander was able to recover a notebook which
I actually
allowed
think. Sorry, just to be fair, I actually think that was either.
Yeah, the knoll on the table, we thought that was Beckett's sister.
But more specifically, I actually think it was Zuriel that recovered the journal and then gave it to Wander.
You're right. After looking through it, it was a notebook of documentations of Wolfgang's various experiments, some alluding to a state of soul replacement / semi-immortality. Wasn't exactly clear, but the concept was there. And finally, with those notes and his father's, Rat, aka Beckett's, amnesia was broken for him to remember himself.
Cheers, I'll drink to that.
Also, Baz, I was getting there. I just also had to remember because it's been a week and I fucking haven't slept today, tomorrow, yesterday.
It's understandable, but we just didn't need to go through the whole rigmarole. We just needed the cliff notes.
That's why I was fucking distressed when you're like, "Oh yeah, tell us, Miles," and I was like, "Fuck."
You totally.
brain.
I wasn't expecting you to go to the whole bit. You can totally say no. Fuck you. You're the GM. You tell it.
Tell it.
You were totally.
You put me on the spot.
We're streaming. You're a VTuber. You're always on the spot. Fuck you and your ability to put the blame on me, you bitch.
And that
Miles
was
said,
great.
"Who am I?"
But yeah, we managed to we overall successfully captured Wolfgang. Wolfgang tricked us all and did a last-ditch effort to escape captivity. Likely is now the servant of the metallic dragon that had attacked us in-game months ago now. Beckett has recovered the memories, and we all agree that we're not leaving Beckett to deal with this alone. However, now we have to deal with the reality of where do we go next? Wolfgang is still out there. Obviously, there's a whole other cavalcade of personal issues to go through. Generally, today's session is going to prioritize roleplay and picking our next adventure, but also just trying to make sure Beckett is ready to move on, because this is a lot for his character to have to go through.
We just have to unkick the puppy.
Just reverse it. Yes, we're hit. To get the heat off of Miles a little bit, I'm gonna have everyone go ahead, and in a second we're gonna roll for initiative to see who's gonna do what first. Since we are going to have some fun getting ourselves situated for the next adventure. So if everyone go ahead and roll initiative, and we'll let that decide on who gets to do what first.
Ooh. I think I need. Nope, there it is. I thought I was gonna have to refresh the page for a second, but pop up.
My game borked.
Your game borked.
It borked harder than Rat used to bork.
Bark.
So Zuriel slept all day.
Yeah.
Listen, that's all I'm
getting
hearing.
exhausted.
Okay, cool. So,
The other day I took a 3-hour nap in the middle of the day, and God, it was the best nap I've ever taken. I haven't taken a nap in like months.
to reiterate, today's session is going to be prioritizing essentially where our group or our individual characters want to start moving forward. Like, this was a lot to have to take in, but we do have to move on to the next day, and we do have to make a living and get ourselves settled. So, Broderick, what do you want to do for the day?
I presume that. That's
You are
a
very
question.
quiet.
I presume it has an answer. Yo, bad. I have no clue. I guess he'd probably just be going around trying to hunt up jobs and or like checking to see if anyone needs help. Like checking in with any healers, doctors, and the like. Like, do they need an extra helping hand? That sort of thing.
Okay, yeah. One sec while I minimize that for later. So I'll go ahead and roll. Can you go ahead and roll 2? Yeah, roll me 2 D100s, and we'll see where the adventure tone takes us.
Adventure zone.
Adventure tone with a T, damn you! We don't have anyone here to cast Zone of Truth consistently.
I can cast Zone of Truth with my fists.
Markov, that's not Zone of Truth.
Speaking of truth,
Markov, that's not Zone of Truth. That's a war crime.
The start truth
It's
soon
only a
enough.
war crime if somebody catches you.
All right, 84 and 96. So we are looking at a rough vengeance. Ooh.
Clint.
So, Black
Oh my
Steel, I mean, we can roll again if that doesn't really fit the vibe you're wanting for, but the first thing that fate is offering is for you to get involved in a rough vengeance sort of personal adventure. Does that, like, resonate with you at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Pardon me, I'm apparently taking
Broderick just squats, opens their arms, and their hands start shooting out propellers like as they start floating.
You say that, I envisioned like jets appearing on his feet and he just slowly floats up.
I went even more dumb. I just imagined the like horrible Gmod animation of his upper half of his torso spinning and going up the helicopter.
His head picks up, his mouth opens to make that noise as his body is just spinning.
But rough vengeance.
Oh shit, we might have to wait for him.
I have an idea if he doesn't have.
Okay. Worst case.
It won't stop.
Roger just looks up. It won't stop.
He's being
Help me!
No. I'm in the basement, so like the furnace is down here.
Oh.
It's fine, buddy.
Broderick has descended back down into the mines.
Not again.
Damn it! This is the 3rd time this week.
Dig, must dig, must dig.
So what is Broderick actually doing?
Okay, so I'm okay with the vengeance thing. Because one of the things I was thinking about is I can't help but imagine that he is horribly pissed off at the lack of closure with the whole Wolfgang thing.
Oh, I'm sure.
And maybe, if he should happen to get his hands on any materials of Wolfgang's that aren't necessary to figure out what the hell he was about, maybe he's just turning that man's stuff into a break room. By which I mean he's going to break stuff.
Okay, because that went over my head, and I'm like, wait, what?
I got it.
got it
I
right,
understood.
Okay, no, I actually kind of like that. I think the guards have like cleaned up and gathered what they can for evidence to start like pouring through Wolfgang's place. Where now it's just sort of like a gross, stained, messy building. I think the building itself is just there and untouched now. Just giving off this air of menace and uncleanliness. Meanwhile, the rest of the buildings are like warehouses or maybe some small shops that are just kind of like all eyeballing that building like, oh god.
Did you hear? That's where that one guy did all those freaky experiments.
Wow, it's just like the Murder Castle by H.H. Holmes.
Excellent, we're stealing from better writers without me even meaning to.
No, H.H. Holmes was an actual like serial killer that made an entire hotel to kill people.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Yep.
I
It's
forgot his
worse.
name. I forgot that was I forgot that was his name. That's what you were referencing.
Jeez.
Literally, the only reason I know that is from that one Until Dawn game.
I only know it because of Jackbox.
I know it because of so many sources.
Anyways.
I don't know it because I actually am not macabre like you guys are. Jeez.
Embrace the spook.
Do it.
So what does Broderick want to do with the building? Like, it's not connected to any other building. It's kind of like just there, and it's a smaller one. So like, if you want to like fuck it up, if you want to burn it down,
Time
like-
to level it.
Because like I feel like there was a brief moment of, hey, maybe we can repurpose this space and we can, try to come back from the horrible things. And then it's like the longer he's been in there, like he started off just like cleaning out debris, and now it's like, fuck this place, fuck that guy, I'm gonna break it. And so
I'm
now
gonna wreck
he's just
it!
swinging his mace.
Oh, I like that. Yes. Okay.
Like at one point he was just in there with a broom sweeping like something horrid that didn't get carted out by the guards falls out from a corner somewhere. He tries to keep cleaning. This doesn't bother me. This doesn't bother me. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot.
And that wall's still stained.
That one still has blood.
Okay, so the chaos factor we're at is at a 7, so it's a +2 to this roll. I want to ask you, do you think you will find anything of importance while wrecking the building? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. How likely do you think it is you will find something?
I don't think it's very likely that I'll find something. I'm envisioning more like I'll uncover something, but I'm not in that mindset.
By
Okay.
pure happenstance and not even notice.
Okay, so we're saying
Yeah.
50-50 chance.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Unfortunately, no. As you are wrecking through the apartment or the building, if there is anything of importance in there, it becomes buried under the rubble. There's no sign of us actually finding or of there even being anything in there. But we also obviously didn't look, as Broderick, you kind of take some catharsis to just smash the entirety of the area.
Hell yeah.
And then, Ari, you wanted to do something?
Yeah. It seems like you've gotten quite a lot of anger out of yourself.
Son of a bitch.
As you see the drow dragon woman. Well, actually, how would you best describe Noir?
She was a tiefling drow,
Tiefling drow.
but she does have like a long segmented tail.
As soon as I heard that voice, I was like, no!
Yeah.
Not you!
So, Broderick, you see in front of you the woman that tried to stop us when we were initially going down to the tunnels, or rather coming back up from them, and you broke my fucking gun.
Do you feel better now?
And what's it to you, witch?
Oh, such harsh words. I'm here to see about your well-being.
The day I have to count on goodwill of individuals like you, I'll know I had lost my shit.
Wise words. I just came to see the aftermath, if you will, of this whole... And she, like, waves her hand kind of dismissively. This whole Wolfgang situation.
Sarge is gonna walk over to a corner that has enough rubble that it can function as an impromptu seat. He's going to knock his mace against the what remains of the wall just to shake some dust off of it and go back to using it as a cane and plop down on the rubble. Funny how you managed to show up after everything's all done. One
I
might
guess-
wonder just what you were doing waiting around.
In due time, I may tell you, but for now, just know that I am basically just cleanup control.
Not ominous at all.
A woman's gotta have her secrets. She like, I'm imagining she was like leaning against a wall, and she like pushes herself off, is now just kind of slowly walking around the building, just looking at all the destruction you've wreaked.
You know, secrets are like weeds. Doesn't matter how deep you bury them, they always manage to pop up where they're least desired.
That's why you have to build on top of them.
See, everybody always thinks that. But they always find a way through. Doesn't matter how much you fortify the floor above them, they'll find a way. If they gotta grow around or if they gotta grow through, they'll find a way.
She continues to walk around. She's like stepping over rubble and tables and shit. And she eventually makes her way over to where you're sitting, and she stands in front of you and she says, "You're a doctor, correct?"
More or less.
And you got to see the, she looks around, the awful experiments that happened here?
If you can even call them experiments at this point.
She turns around, she looks back.
Man's work was brilliant, but he was like a mad child, casting a line out into the darkness, hoping for something worse than himself to answer back.
I would like, if perhaps you would help me with something. You would be compensated, of course.
Go ahead and ask.
That friend of yours, the Knoll. Would you perhaps bring just a little bit of his fur? I want to
I'm
know.
afraid I can't help you with that.
Oh, and why is that, young thing?
Pardon me, I misspoke. I will not help you with that.
May I ask why?
Sarge will look pointedly at her tail and then stare her straight in the eyes. I've long since learned the value of avoiding working with anyone whose nature is to stab me in the back.
Who says I'm to stab you in the back?
Another pointed look at the tail. One can only wonder.
Wow, judging
Trust-
by appearances.
Listen,
She
this is
smacks
just
the
for
gun out of
self-defense.
my hand with her fucking tail. You should've.
Also, not for nothing, this is a dwarf.
This is a dwarf. This is for
We are
self-defense.
nothing if not judgy.
You saw what happened to your friend when you pointed that gun at me. I was simply defending myself. You would have to know that such a pretty woman like me has so many people wanting her.
Let's speak plainly here. you didn't have anything to fear from us. I wouldn't be too surprised to find out that the best of what we can bring to bear in a fight would be a minor annoyance to you at best. I don't know quite exactly what you are, but soft ain't ever been on that list. You can claim self-defense if you want to. You were trying to teach a lesson.
You can do several things all at once. But, hmm, may I ask why you will not help me then? I know the whole stabbing you in the back thing, but
To put it plainly, I don't trust you as far as I would trust a scorpion in my boots. I can't help but assume any plan of yours will find a way to come back on me or mine, if not the general populace of whatever area you happen to be in at the time. And if nothing else, I don't see a reason to help further your goals.
what if
Consider
I
it.
what if I said that it would help eliminate this metallic disease?
At this, Sarge starts to grip the head of his mace tighter to the point you can almost hear it creak.
She lifts up her chin and smiles a bit.
And why would you be so interested in helping with that?
She thinks for a second. She's thinking of her words. Because mindless people are simply just sheep. There is no fun in that.
You want to turn up the difficulty of the game for yourself? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh no, not at all. I'm just simply saying that having a mindless army of these metallic diseased folks would be very disadvantaged for me. As you can probably tell, she like sways her tail behind her. I like to put the fear of God into people.
Wander just
How-
sneezes for some reason.
And I suppose you can't do that if they can't fear.
You are correct, sir.
Tell you what, I can pass along your request. I have no doubt that you'll be in touch.
Oh, I
So,
certainly will.
until such time, I do believe we are done here.
Very well. Her tail moves, and like the end of it is underneath your chin. She lifts your chin up. She says, "And I will certainly keep an eye on you, little thing." And her tail flicks, and you get like a little scratch on your cheek. And she turns and walks away.
You go ahead and do that. I want you to see it coming.
Ooh!
She will not say anything, and she'll just continue to leave.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That was tense.
You know, Broderick's voice that you do for him, I always imagine this large opposing figure, and then I remember he's a dwarf.
He's a dwarf.
Yep.
He's 4 foot tall.
Yep.
Mm.
Just imagine though in the future whenever like we get to a point Noir's like at like their moment of death and you just hear right above them as like Broderick's about to drop down on them and said, "Remember what I
Yes.
said about seeing it coming?" Okay.
It's gonna be good.
With that, it's gonna be my turn. Wander is going to primarily look for new work for the group. We've got a decent amount of money. We have ties, but we can't stick with it forever. And obviously, Wander's also considering the fact that we just made a powerful enemy. We definitely need to get stronger. So, Wander is looking for something that will either pay well or something that will get us resources that we don't normally have. So, I'm gonna go ahead and take my roll with 2 separate 100s. And that's gonna be 58 and 14. That is light and calm. Wow.
You're just moving boxes.
A very massive juxtaposition to this. So, light and calm.
That's even funnier with fucking like Broderick is having this intense scene. Meanwhile, Wander's like just helping out, like rebuilding a couple buildings and stuff, like transporting supplies and all that. And then he's lifting up a fucking 4x4 and goes, oh, shit. And he's like almost
Like-
dropping it, like, ah!
Just like Broderick. 10 story moment. Wonder. Filler episode.
Filler. Beach episode.
Broderick, the most intense cutscene in Baldur's Gate 3. Wander playing Animal Crossing. But honestly, no, I kind of like that idea, because Wander is definitely someone who, like, he puts up, like, this bard-like persona where, like, he wants you to, like, hate him, kinda. He wants you to barb jabs. Loc is very much a people person. Like, he likes helping people. He was raised to be that. So I kind of like this idea that Wander does just go around Banahaw and actively just tries to... let me unpause the game for one thing. Whoopsie. Just actively is trying to help different people out and, like, make people more aware of our group. Which, Wander does have a name he wants to pitch to everyone for what the group can be called. Though it's a little selfish, which is on brand for him. I'm gonna go ahead
It's
and
gonna be
roll.
Loc and Load.
No. That's saved purely for Markov and him. Like, they're the duo.
Okay.
The Wanderers.
No, that's...
The usual suspects.
That's a cool
wait,
name, but I don't know if it's
Wait, hold on.
because we haven't done a lot of wandering.
But, okay, the Wanderers is a little, like, on the nose. The Usual Suspects sounds more like our underground drinking name or our underground fight name, I'm gonna be honest.
The unusual suspect.
I mean, you might even say the Unexpectables.
Okay.
So here's a question that I would have. So Wander does this, and I think it goes very well. My question then comes into, does anybody have a question they want to throw into this of, like, something that, like, alters the scene, or do we want to just roll to see if fate alters the scene?
I was just gonna say, Loc is probably gonna go and do this, and he tells Markov to go do something else because he's afraid that he would scare people.
Yeah, you know, you say that, but honestly, Loc would actually really push Markov to, like, be more interactive with people. Like, if more people get used to the way Markov looks with his creepy-ass smile, the more they'll be able to, like, read him.
Let me rephrase. I want Markov to have his own scene.
No, he's going to. Like, Markov would
Okay.
just tell him no.
Okay.
And then Locke's not going to force Markov to do anything he doesn't want to. But I'm going to...
Alright, suit yourself. Could've used your fucking muscles.
Fuck you.
Wander just, like, wiggles himself like, I got little noodle arms!
This will be good for you, little man.
Okay, with that
This is why you use a gun!
Alright, with that being the case, then I'll roll against fate and see what happens. Okay, It fell under our 7, which means something just happened.
Oh dear.
God damn it.
It's a 6, so that means it's an interrupted scene, which means I got to roll on the...
Someone falls off the scaffolding.
Oh my god!
Yakety sax starts to play in the background.
Yeah, that's that! Don't go back. Okay, that's an 87, which means... Current context. Okay. Generally...
Someone falls off the scaffolding.
So generally current context is, it's half a reroll, and half you have to keep in mind that what's happening, like, stays within the realm of the scene. So I'm going to re-roll it, and then depending on what we get, it's going to be based on, so an interrupt scene normally says, hey, you stop what you're doing. This is saying, you stop what you're doing, but it's still involved in what you're doing.
Okay.
That's going to be an 11, which means a new NPC.
Ooh.
Now, here's what I want to ask you guys. Is it a good NPC or a bad NPC? How likely
I'm
do
in
you think
favor
that
of
is?
good.
I want my little halfling wizard.
See, I get being in favor of good, and it's nice to have a nice, good, chill session. But we did just have one of our 2 antagonists go out of commission for a bit. So
Yeah, but the other antagonist is setting up shit. I want to sing songs, okay?
Okay,
That's what I mean.
So can you tell us about this half-wizard character? This half-elf wizard.
Well, she's a halfling.
Halfling, okay.
Her name is Calliope, or Callie, and she is a student at one of the wizarding academies, around, I'm guessing, Banaha.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing that she notices you wander, and how much do you want me to reveal? Because I have drawn your ancestor before.
Ooh, you know what? Let's leave. So this is what I'm thinking. Not Banaha. She's studying from Dragonfall, and for whatever reason, she's in Banaha. And then we can leave it to being revealed. Does anyone have any objections to that?
Mm-mm.
I like this. I like this a lot. Okay, instead of going against fate and trying to roll whether it's a positive or negative, let's play this out. So yeah, Wander's helping out, and this halfling wizard. Do you want to give a description of what they look like?
She's a halfling. She's short. She's a little chubby. She has very tan skin, dark, very kinky hair, and she got big round glasses. She's wearing just a normal dress that you would see in Banaha or Dragonfall. And she's probably carrying a couple of books in her hands or on her back.
Oh, she's precious.
I love her.
Scoop her up.
Okay. What did she do with to approach Wander? Because Wander's just helping people at this point, just helping clean up or saving cats from trees.
She's probably gonna see Wander do a double take. She's gonna run up to him, and Wander sees her running up to him. She stops. Hi, I'm sorry. I couldn't help but see that. Do you happen to be a wanderer?
Oh, my reputation precedes me. Motions to himself. Either that or the blue skin and the horns.
How is the blue skin and the horn?
Nah, kind of figures. My family's kind of got this whole branding thing going on.
Shot him down right out of the gate. God damn.
She pulls out one of her books and she says, this is rude of me. I'm sorry. My name is Calliope. People call me Callie. I am a student at Dragonfall, and my focus is on, despite how I look, demonology.
Alright, this conversation's gonna go either very interesting or is gonna go very poorly for one of us, as his hand, subconsciously motions towards his gun.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Just, she starts flipping through her book, and she pulls up, she turns it around, and it's, a page with a picture of the Wanderer on it. She says, I know it's a little creepy, but I've been studying your family lineage, I guess.
His hand, at that point, his hand just relaxes, like, oh, good, okay, so you're a historian. That, much easier to work with. You are not the first, you won't be the last. I'm assuming you want to know a little, you want to interview me, like, ask some questions about it?
If it wouldn't be too much trouble.
Alright, cool. Here's the rundown. Like, he kind of, like, squats down to kind of get to her level.
She, like, pulls out a notebook, and she's, like, intently looking at you.
Eyes go 10 times wider, and Wander's like, I didn't know you could do that.
Like, the eyes just fill up the glasses.
I might have to ask you some questions about your demon heritage.
My great grandfather and or mother.
She's writing all this down.
Yep. Got their ass beat, saved a king, and then fucked off. And then he just starts to walk away.
Damn!
She's like stunned for a second. She stands there. She stands there for a second. And then she gets out of it. She starts running back over and he's like, wait, what do you mean?
Wander's not gonna run from her. He's gonna, like, continue what he was doing, like, helping people organize stuff or, like, do tricks for kids as he's walking. I mean, the whole point of my great progenitor is that they just kind of did whatever they felt like doing, and enough of us got together and said, hey, we should do that too.
She pulls out the book from her bag, and she flips back to the page of the Wanderer, and she says, I don't want to tell you that. She turns the book around. I think you would know more about yourself in this book, but in the book it says that the Wanderer used to hurt people.
Well,
Go on.
I mean, how do you protect a kingdom other than dealing with their enemies?
She turns it back, reads for a second, and then she points at a passage, and it's basically saying that the Wanderer, up until somebody captured them, was basically the boogeyman of the forest.
Okay, that gets Locke's attention as he, like, politely opens his hand up to, like, read the book.
She hands it to you.
Okay, so I can either ask you this, or we can let this be a group thing. Like, Wander wants to ask 3 questions. 1, who the fuck wrote this garbage? 2, where are they getting this info that the Wanderer is a demon haunting a forest?
What the fuck do you find in my grandpa?
How dare you! How dare you put these tabloids about my great-grandpappy mother?
My grandpappy mother.
Paul would never.
Mama.
Mama. Do you have an answer for this, Ari, or do we want to leave it up to the group and fate?
Let's leave it. Oh, wait. You have a book in your room, that has a bunch of different kinds of books. You can, look one up and you can look up a name for who wrote it.
Okay, out of which of the books?
I think it's the Table Fables 2.
Okay, like getting a name. Does
Or you
anybody...
could just do a random name.
NPC generator... I mean, at that point, I have no problem, but, ships, adventures, items, enemy encounters...
It might be in the first book.
Yeah, because I'm just looking for names at this point. Which
Like, it'll be books that people can find.
Oh, okay. I think, worst case, I will look through the book and try and... Oh, there it is. Page 34. Does anybody want to ask a question or throw a question out there for Wander to figure out, because I want this to be a whole thing.
Well, I can tell the first fucking question is, who the fuck wrote this book?
Yeah.
Who the fuck wrote this book?
And then...
There's an ass ton of books in here. I see
What
what
And
if
then-
it's one of her
Where the fuck-
professors?
one of her professors.
Oh God.
Oh.
I imagine it's just somebody who is an outsider from Wander's family. Maybe, I don't know exactly like Wander's past or whatever, but
Fucking Samurai Wander.
maybe maybe it's like somebody who, hold on, I'm losing it. It's trying to run away from me. I have to wrestle this idea down. Cause like, if what you were like thinking, like trying to look for just now was a name, my brain was just like, what if it's just like a pen name? Like it's not their actual name.
H.H. Holmes.
H.H. Holmes.
Well, I was
Beautiful.
literally thinking, and this might not be what you go with, but my brain was just like, it's a pen name, Charles Sunset or something.
Okay, no, I kind of like the idea that, like, whoever's writing this book is, they're using a pen name. I'm gonna roll to see if Wander's
You know
able
what would be the
to-
biggest FU to Wander
What?
and his like lineage? Saying stagnation and then putting a Wander like last name behind it.
Oh, someone's
Literally
trying to
make fun
do
of their name
stolen
and do the
valor.
Exactly.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna roll for Wander on his character sheet and see if he does this. I'm gonna say he's gonna roll a society check to see if like he's able to like recognize this at all. No, he doesn't recognize the name that's used. But I kind of like that. So I kind of like the idea that they put just like Wander Quill, as if like to imply that like their main talent is writing.
I love
Mhm.
that. That's really good, actually.
I'm
it's just like,
putting that in the
I
notes.
never
That's
heard of
really
this
good.
motherfucker.
Okay, cool. So
And
Wander.
that's why the wizard think it's a reliable source because it's from a Wander supposedly.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot actually. Here's the question I want to ask: is this book recently printed, or is this like old?
It's
I would
probably
say
like
that's-
a year or two old.
Yeah, I'd say that's.
Okay,
Somebody's got a vendetta against your family.
I guess
That's what it is.
And, like,
Either an exile
also,
of the family or someone your family fucked up and is now like, fuck you. If I can't beat
It's
you in a
also-
fight, I'll beat you in the words.
Go ahead,
Oh.
Worm.
Ooh, that's good. But yeah, I was gonna say it also works really well in the same way Stolen Valor does. I mean, do you know all of the locks? I mean, all of the wonders? Do
Oh,
you?
locks.
Do you?
All the locks. But
Wander's like,
You know,
well,
so
there's
it's
my
like,
grandpa,
I
there's
don't
my
think
uncle.
this. I don't think anyone in my family would have actually written this bullshit.
So
But do I
this
know
is
for sure?
this is actually great, and I'm really glad you pitched this, Hun, because this is actually gonna dip into my favorite aspect of Wander's lineage. He reads that name. I do not have to roll a fate die on. Well, I guess this is what I want to ask you guys as a group. Are we agreeing that this is a charlatan, or is there a chance this really is a Wander?
I think that should be like a coin flip or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'd say that's a 50-50 chance of being a yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, make it a coin flip.
so we'll make it
I'd
a coin
say
flip with
leaning
a +2.
towards yes, they are a.
I'm saying
Just
this.
'cause drama.
It's spoiling a little bit, but I'm saying no because that's not the Wanderer's lore. Like
Got
the
it, got
the
it.
thing that they're putting in this book is so wrong, it's insulting.
Because the only thing I would say is if it is actually a wonder who wrote it, it would be someone who's in bad standing with the rest of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Like if someone were kicked out of the family, it's like, all right, no, fine, do that if you want to. I got something for that.
Now, I'm also not against that. However, if I think that goes that route, there would be a former Wanderer who is that, but it's not the author. I think the author got this bunk info from that wanderer, but the author of this book, I lean more that they are not a wander. They just aren't.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So we've got the chaos factor being a 7, which means automatic +2, but I'm saying it's very unlikely they're actually a wanderer, so it's actually a -2, so it's just a flat 2d10 roll.
Okay.
Mm.
4 and a 7.
Okay, so yes, it is someone in. So it's a yes of being a wanderer, but since it's so low on the yes, I'm gonna pitch this. It's someone who was affiliated with Wander's family, maybe even someone Wander was blood related or like marriage related to at one point, but they left the family and they're using that. So it's still stolen valor, but it's not it's like extended family.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
I like this. I like this a lot. So Wander reads this. He reads Wander Quill, and immediately reading this, he just goes, I appreciate you being here, miss. I'm sorry, what was the name again?
Calliope or Callie.
Callie, I appreciate you being here, but I have to inform you, hands the book back, that is made by someone who is stealing my family's honor.
She like stares at you with like a surprised expression, and she holds the book like close to her chest. She says, "I'm sorry.
You don't have anything to be sorry about. I'm glad you're here. I have to now ask you a couple questions on what you know and who this Quill is, because they are not of my family."
Okay. Can I get you a drink or something as a sorry?
I think I'm the one that offers you a drink or at least something, because you are in a very uncomfortable position. There's a nice little family tavern just across the street here. They owe me. We can get something minor.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, she's in tears.
No, she's upset, and Loc does not blame her. He's like, this, like, if anything, he's more furious at this Quill, because not only is it affecting Wander, it's affecting innocent people who have no reason to be involved in this. Wander's going full hero mode on this.
No.
So I don't want to like take up too much time, so we'll play in this scene for a little bit, but like someone time us in case like this goes on too long.
All right, it's 12:04 right now.
Okay. Wander sits down and basically asks, all right, so you understand the Wanderer to be this forest demon, right?
That's what it said in my books, yeah.
Okay, what else, the cliff notes of what this Quill is feeding you?
Oh, that was plural.
So, from my studies, from this Wander Quill, she like pushes the book away. She said,
Yeah, like
She
I don't want
says,
association with that.
it said basically that the Wanderer was thrown out of the hells,
That's accurate.
for killing one of the like main demon's sons.
Oh, okay, that's a little bit more detail, but no, that's still fair.
They found a little settlement in the forest, and she like sways back and forth. And killed everyone.
Okay, so this is the first thing I'm going to correct on this book.
She's going to take out the pen and paper.
You know, when Wander's demeanor is completely changed. Like, he loves his family's history, and this is a chance to correct something. He doesn't have to protect it. This is good for him. So, in our family, we're taught that there's a cavalcade of different ways that the Wanderer was thrown out of the hells or out of the void. We don't even truly know if we're demons, devils, or something else. All we do agree on is that the Wanderer got his ass, or her ass, completely throttled, thrown out of the depths, and had to survive on the scraps of nature. They fell upon a royal, some royal, lost to time. A lot of different historians argue over which king, but they fell upon them because they were, it was hunting big game. The king mistook this hunt as the Wanderer saving them. The Wanderer, still being a little conniving, lied and agreed that, yeah, I was there to save you. So the king offered the Wanderer to come into his kingdom and he would be welcomed with open arms. Suspicious, the Wanderer did go in disguise. This is where things shift on that little history note.
She's watching looking intently at you.
The Wanderer went in disguise, and sure enough, the kingdom did welcome them with open arms, but not knowing who they were. This king did their damnedest to be a servant of the people and make their people happy. It's very similar to how Dragonfall is now. Just multiple people, all walks of life, all finding purpose on these lands and being able to go wherever they want. The Wanderer never revealed themselves to the king, but stuck around the kingdom. A rival kingdom that this smaller one did not want to go to war with came in and started ransacking everything. The king died. His children the only ones left. The Wanderer, being a demon, a devil, what have you, only knew how to do one thing to make right. The Wanderer is a killer, but not mindless. The gods themselves respect my progenitor's actions to where they raised themselves up from a devil and were brought in as a god of vengeance. The Wanderer is no different from any other of anyone else's gods or deities. The difference is they still show up today, but you never know who it is. It could be the Wanderer themselves, and then he smiles and kind of like puffs out his shirt, or it could be the handsome fella just sitting right across from you.
She giggles a little bit.
The thing is, though, with that blessing from the gods, being a Wanderer is something more intense than just being born into it. It's a choice. My progenitor made a choice to go beyond what they were while not denying who they were at the same time. When someone says wander, and there's several of us in a room, we know who you're talking to. If you don't know who you're talking to, we all just go, yeah, and just look around. You have to know a Wanderer to be able to call their name out. Points to the book. There is not one Wanderer with the name Quill in my family. Not current, not before. And I'll be able to prove it when me and my friends, and if you want to travel with us, go to Dragonfall.
You're going to Dragonfall?
Oh, we are now.
Oh, she gets a little excited. She's, you might be able to see my professor. He's the one that's recommended this book. Maybe I don't think he would take me seriously if I just show him the notes, but if an actual Wanderer tells him, then maybe he'd have to change his lesson plan.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy sitting in on one of those classes just to see what this man is teaching. Or woman, I don't want to assume.
It's a man. He's a big tall elf.
Oh, good. It's gonna be very easy to break him.
Jesus.
I'm sorry?
Oh no, just enjoy your drink. I didn't say nothing. No violence being planned in the slightest, as he just sips his drink, looking off in the distance.
Elsewhere in the city, Sarge just looks up. Some elf done fucked up.
Something just happened.
Something just happened.
Something just happened.
Oh, I love this. Okay, so Wander's gonna be very selfish when he gets back with the rest of you. He's going to insist we're going to Dragonfall. This is personal. Oh.
They're slandering my family name.
They're talking shit! With that, we'll now go over... hold on, I'm trying to find my window. Where'd it go? There it is.
Beckett.
Beckett, my boy! What are you up to?
Beckett.
Oh, God, Beckett. So... Beckett is in, like, a state of... loss? He is just kind of... no pun intended, wandering about. He is just walking throughout the town, just looking at people moving by. Sometimes he picks up an apple and then just sets it down. And
He's
then
discovering gravity.
continues walking. And he mostly spends his time just at a tavern. Just buying what they have, trying it, no reaction, thanking them, and leaving.
Okay. Can you roll me 2 separate D100s, and we're gonna see where fate leads Beckett.
What does fate have to
God
say?
damn, 162.
Yeah, so
162.
100 and a 62. So, a wild, mature? Am I looking at that right? Let me zoom in a little.
Mature is not a word.
Mature is a word!
I totally I spelled that completely wrong in my brain. I am so
Hey,
sorry.
Ryan,
Okay.
I thought you were saying that as a joke, but now I'm like, you said that seriously? Mature's not a word.
I was spelling it as MACHUR.
Sure.
Hey, hun, spell, yes.
Oh no.
YES.
Yes!
Stop.
Yes.
Okay, so wild and mature. I have something I would want to pitch, but I want to see what it means to you, Miles.
It's Ida from Our House.
So, here's the thing. Hearing that, I actually find something very funny. If you're okay with it, Ari. Because Markov can tell what Beckett is going through. Beckett is not
Okay.
there anymore. He looks hollow, but he doesn't have Markov's smile. He looks exactly like Markov, no smile. There's nothing there.
Two sides of the same very fucked up coin.
Yeah.
Hence the wild part and the mature part. Because it's like Markov is like, shit, I might have to actually be an adult here. I hate that.
I think Markov, now that you say that, I think Markov would have, like, gone into the tavern to, like, do something. He sees Beckett at the table. He, like, turns around to leave, and he's like, no, I should do something.
the little wander on Markov's shoulder, forcing him to turn around.
Turn around.
So Markov, he doesn't want to, but he knows it's a good idea to just go and sit next to Beckett. Rough day, buddy?
Markov. How do you take this?
What do you mean?
It's very obvious you're hurt. You're
Oh, is it?
suffering.
I'm sorry, I should not be very harsh with you right now. Go on.
No, it's fine. I appreciate knowing myself again. Knowing my family. Knowing who they were. But in gaining, like, that part of me back, I lost something.
Your innocence.
You could say that, but I mean it more literally.
Your mind.
I can't feel anything, Markov. I drink this, and he points at the meat in front of him, and he says, I can't taste it. I understand it's in there. It's doing something to me. At some point, I will become intoxicated by drinking it. But I don't feel that. I don't feel how it used to burn. How it used to brighten or hurt. This food in front of me, I can't taste it. I understand it's nourishing me, and it feels like it's there in my mouth, in my stomach. The process is happening. But I can't enjoy it. I can't understand if it's something I like or dislike or want or need. It's just there.
Markov's gonna sigh. He's gonna order himself a shot real quick. He's gonna take it real quick. He, like, licks his teeth and he says, not that you mention it, the burn is not usually as bad as before. He gestures to himself. Oh, this happened. I never noticed it.
It's the thing. You don't notice those things. But now that they're gone, the fact that I can walk up to something cold, I can hold on to it. Hold on to something that should be so cold, it rips my skin off, that it hurts. And I feel nothing. I don't even understand what happens. It's wrong. But that's also where I'm wrong, because it doesn't feel wrong. I don't feel it. I can still feel close to you, to Wander, to Zuriel, to Broderick. I still love you guys. I still am me. I'm still Rats. The innocent little fluffball you guys liked. But I lost something, and it's making me furious. It's making me sad. It hurts, but
Markov's gonna pat him on the shoulder. He says, I have an idea. Come follow me for a second.
where are we going?
We're going to go beat something up.
Okay.
So I don't know where we're gonna go. Because usually
I-
Markov just likes to go to his, like, the training area for, like, the guard in town.
I
but
100% already want to suggest something.
What's up?
It's a port where a bunch of surly sailors and drunkards are regularly at. There's definitely a not scrupulous, but less than legal fight pit.
Oh my god.
There's definitely some, like, street fights going on for fun and for money.
Markov, are you sure this is, like, alright to do? I don't think Wander would like...
You know what? Wander's not here. It's just it's a boys' day. It's a boys' day for us. We're just going to have fun, okay? Don't worry about if it's legal. We're pretty good in standing with the people
I'm a
here.
doctor, I don't hurt people. I'm a doctor, I don't hurt people.
Meanwhile, hours later, when you guys get Wander, I can't believe you guys went to an underground illegal fight ring without me.
Without me.
I would have spent so much money making sure Markov won fights. We would have cheated. It would have been great.
But yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. Honestly, I was going to suggest that we just find, like, a guy that's, like, harassing a bunch of people and just beat the shit out of him.
That is also valid, being a vigilante, actually.
But I like the fight pit. That sounds a lot more fun. I
like to think that Wander was literally looking for a guy to beat the shit out of because he was like harassing people that were like weaker than him, but accidentally stumbled upon this fight pit.
And then he just sees Markov with like a bloody nose and just like 3 guys at his feet.
Wait. Okay, wait. If we're actually gonna lean into this, where it's like eventually everyone comes together, this is what I want to ask: would Broderick already be there?
Already being.
Broderick is our residential punchy boy.
He also probably needs to get some steam after that from Noir.
Oh god! Oh no! And what if, unknowingly, right? Because they used fake names, because they went based off looks, like they went, looked at Broderick and said, "The Iron Fist!"
Yes.
And Broderick's like, it's under my skin. Alright, fine.
I have no problems with this.
And then they're like, and the rat! And Beckett's like, well, you're not exactly wrong. And then they both stare at each other and go, oh shit!
Okay. If we're doing this, then what I want to do is like, first off, Markov and Beckett, do you guys want to like talk anymore in your scene before we start doing rolls?
It'll be fine. They're like going downstairs into like a basement or something. The guy there, he sees Markov, he just nods.
Okay, I understand the psychological reasoning for doing this. Technically, it's a version of
He like
catharsis.
grabs Beckett by the jaws and just clamps him shut. Don't think. Do not think.
I will do the creepy mouth thing.
Okay, so this is what I want to have happen. Broderick, Beckett, and Markov, to make this fun, because how dueling works in Pathfinder is it's more of a point system rather than like killing someone. But to make this fun, because I know that Beckett's not exactly like strong in the fighting department, let me ask this: who's fighting and who is like repping the other person?
Here's the funny thing. I think Beckett would actually do kind of well in the fight.
Okay, so Beckett wants to just participate in the fights.
I have an argument for it, yes.
Alright, to make this fun then, Beckett, where Broderick and Markov are obviously going to use their athletics and their strength to hit, what are you going to do?
I would like to argue either survival or thievery to essentially use an outboxer style fighting style. I'm going to keep out of range until they tire them out and then smack them down once. Because, again, I'm a doctor. I know where to hit to knock you out instantly.
For the sake of it being fun, I will allow that. Okay.
Use your dexterity.
So, yeah, you'll use your dexterity for your damage, and you'll use your thievery to like attempt to actually like hit and dodge. So, if I can get all 3 of you to pick your main skill and roll that skill, the first DC is going to be a 15.
Okay, because I was gonna say I'm pretty sure Sarge would use medicine as well. It's like,
oh, like his knowledge of like not hitting hard per se, but hitting consistently.
Yeah.
I'll allow it. That's fun.
By the way, I just want to say for flavor, whenever Markov like takes off his armor and like takes off his shirt, his like all the way down to his elbows are covered in burn scars.
God damn.
This
Like
is
his
gonna be the
hand-
funny part. Beckett looks at Markov, right, and he says, "Oh damn, that's a black tag right there." And
And then
Markov isn't a black tag. Markov is a red flag.
And
I am the biggest red flag.
Meanwhile, Beckett just like you hear that, you say that's a black tag, and then it's just like you just
Broderick just looks over like, Should I be proud or concerned?
No. Here's the thing that I love. I love this idea that Beckett says that, and then they just start hearing Broderick saying black tag in their mind over and over again, like a PTSD moment. And then, like, it clicks like, that son of a bitch! Like, he just realizes what he's been called this whole time.
No, it's that moment from SAO or Bridge. It's not your fault. Your fault. Your fault. Your fault.
And it
Slowly turns towards Broderick.
Fucking yes. Okay, so the initial round, the first like major fight you guys go with, Markov and Broderick like floor these guys. I want to say that Beckett, not really being like used to being like conscious of their like abilities, loses, but it's a close lose. Like 14 to beat a 15, like that was close. So on the next round, because now essentially Beckett's like in the loser's bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone go ahead and roll again. This time the DC is going to be a 16.
Son of a bitch.
Do you
I ain't a
want
fighter.
do you want to use your hero point?
You fucking know I am.
Oh God, that was almost a 20. Come on, man.
That was almost a 17. Fuck you.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my hero point.
Okay.
I'm a healer, not a fighter. Damn it.
Hey, there you go.
There we go.
Okay, so once again, I think Markov and Broderick, you're both just destroying your opponents, being like proper veteran adventurers. Beckett, you're losing, but like not to like an nth degree. Like, it's one of those things where like the people are actually rooting for you because it's like, oh man, this guy's kind of wiry. Like, I want him to win.
He kind of fucked up. I like that.
Yeah, he's scrappy. So for this one, I'm gonna say for Beckett, the DC is gonna be 16 again. For Markov and Broderick, it'll be 17. Go ahead and roll.
What does it use? Again?
Oh,
This is painful.
can't win them all.
Yeah.
But I can.
Yes, but you're Markov.
So, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
Beckett sits there and kind of looks at this dude. And I'm going to use something fancy here, right?
Okay.
Would they allow magic in this ring?
You know
No.
what? I think that's a fate question, but let's see what Rat's gonna do first.
I'm going to finally use this feat called Assurance, where I make that a 17 because fuck you.
Okay, no, I like that. Like, you're kind of getting used to yourself. You're becoming aware. You're letting yourself get lost in the moment. So here's the question I want to ask Beckett. Does this start to help? Is like the adrenaline and like not thinking and focusing on a fight, does that start helping at all?
1 second.
Don't roll a d20. We leave it up to fate dice for story stuff.
Oh, right. You're right. So here's the thing. I'm going to say slightly yes. Only slightly, because again, it's that slight fallacy / pain of being someone in the medical profession / psychology profession. You know the tricks. You know what they do. So, like, he understands that this is only a form of minor... Like, his brain is immediately saying, this is only going to be a minor catharsis. The pain's going to come back. I'm going to feel again. Like, I'm not feeling these hits, so... Like, and he starts rationalizing. He's like, no, shut up. Keep in the fight. God damn it.
Right, and then in this final fight, you win, and so so you're saying slight yes, but also the chaos factor's at a 7, so it's going to be a +3 to this roll. So we're going to see how this changes. It is just a slight yes. Like, after that win, Beckett, you feel your body straining, you feel the pain, but also sort of like that existence of, holy shit, I really did this, the adrenaline's kicking in. I want to pitch that Beckett realizes what he's feeling is psychological, not physical, but this, like, reminded him, hey, you're here, you're grounded, like, you can recover from this. Like, maybe for the first time ever, Beckett recognizes he's healing.
Even though he got the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, he's like, huh, I did it. Gets socked in the face and then splits his jaw, but like, what the fuck? And the dude's like, "God!"
It's like from the DBZ Abridged when Krillin gets punched, it's like, punch, fuck!
I did it. Just hit in the face. Fucking falls over. It's a.
Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna say, Beckett, you earn 2 gold from your fight. Broderick, you earn 5, and Markov earns 10. And at this point, I would want to then ask if Beckett and Markov want to have any more conversation to wrap up this scene.
How do you feel, buddy?
Better.
Good. Even just a little bit better is better than nothing.
By the way, you want to start talking about your problems? He's giving Markov like the biggest shit-eating grin he can.
Just, damn, I love Beckett. The fact that he's just like, all right, now it's your turn.
Would you still live if I ripped your head off?
Holy shit, would I?
You want to try?
Okay, for the simple fact that it's most likely a no, given that. Well, the thing is,
I'm going to clap his jaws together again. Shut the fuck up. Let's go.
Absolutely
You think too much.
Oh man.
I thought too much as rat as well, but I didn't understand what I was thinking about.
We have fun here.
God. All right. Next up is gonna be Zuriel. What are you doing, buddy?
Stretching, apparently.
He's doing yoga.
Well, Zuriel is, I think, on this off day, Zuriel has just kind of he walked into like the nearby forest or whatever, or maybe like a nearby woods area. I don't think he like disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that for a minute. I was just like, Zuriel's just gone for a minute. Nobody knows who he is. He just walks back in from the forest.
Just vanishes.
No, I think he walks into the forest area. Like, I think maybe somebody like even saw him walk in there, and I think he literally just finds like some close together trees, lays down in the middle of them, and is just like spending his time trying to connect with nature in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's basically it. Like, he's staring up at like the clouds between the leaves and watching like everything, you know, moving around him, just like taking a break from people.
Okay. I'm going to give you a choice to either we roll on the adventure tone shift, or you can roll a singular d10 and see if this scene changes at all.
What's the first thing?
So either we can roll the 2 separate D100s to see what immediately like interrupts Zuriel's nature walk, or we can roll to see if Zuriel's nature walk is even interrupted.
I like the first one.
Okay, roll me 2 separate D100s.
Oh god, what am I doing?
You remember how to do it? Dice at the bottom of
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
There you go. 98. And then we get a second one. And a 12. And that's gonna be violent, but
Oh.
bold.
Violent
Okay.
and bold.
Okay.
A boar.
When
I was
I
gonna
was
say-
a young warthog.
I was gonna say it's just, you know,
And
a predator being a predator. They're like, oh look, prey laying on the ground, just ready to die.
I guess the question comes down for Zuriel, like, do those two words mean anything to you or give you any inspiration for what happens?
See, I mean, unless it is just like a predator starting to hunt me and I have to run back into town.
I remember when I like being in town.
I think, and I don't want to get too, like, I don't want to seem like I'm trying to get into too much of, like, always trying to connect to this god that Zuriel doesn't remember the name of, but I think, how did we say we were going to pronounce it? Because Kellycott? It's K-A-L, yeah, Kellycott, K-A-L-E-K-O-T. So yeah, Kellycott. I think
yeah.
Kellycott, like, sends Zuriel, like, things in, like, the most random of moments. And so,
Okay.
honestly, I think this is probably, like, Zuriel dozes off for a minute, and, like, it's not, like, a vision of the future or whatever, but it's maybe, like, a warning.
I actually kind of
Some
like that
sort.
idea. Yeah, like you get a vision from your god. Okay, so it's based off. So if it's a vision, do we want to go with the idea of it's like you dream of being hunted by a predator, or do we want to like just ignore that aspect completely?
I think I want to ignore that aspect completely.
Okay,
I
then
think
what kind of a dream do you think you have?
Could be somebody's backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can't think of
I
anything, I
think-
can roll on some dice.
Well, because the other thing I could think of is, like, our whole overarching thing of, like, that metal dragon is, like, just, like, a threat that we know is there. And I think the dream kind of starts out as Zuriel's, like, kind of remembering his own, like, it's like he's playing through the memory of when he fell. Like, of when he was, like, attacked and fell, but then it kind of, like, shifts into, like, it shifts into the vision.
Okay.
From that.
Let me then go ahead. We'll call that a chosen altered scene. So
Okay.
you want to describe the dream, like describe like when Zuriel fell, like give us some details.
So, Zuriel, it would start off as Zuriel standing at the edge of, like, the cave that he and his family, like, made into their little home. Like, at the top of a mountain. He would, like, look over his shoulder, and then say, like, a quick goodbye, just, like, over his shoulder, and then he would jump and fly away from the mountain. And he would have, like, he has, like, these few moments of peace of, like, feeling like he's free. And then, like, in an instant, there's, like, a roar, and the whole scene, like, shifts into something, like, terrifying and, like, dark for him as, you know, he looks around and sees something, you know, chasing him down in the air.
Okay.
And it's in the, like, in his memory, like, it's like a young dragon. Like, it's like it's a young dragon that, like, flew after him and, like, fucking chomped down on him. But in this vision it can, I don't know what exactly which.
So I
into.
rolled on the altered scene and it got remove in action. And what I want to propose is that when Zuriel's like having this dragon chasing them and they're about to fall, it's like the dream stops and like literally Zuriel stops falling, and they can just the dream becomes lucid. Like they can explore their dream now.
Ooh. Am I walking in the air? I think he's walking around in the air.
Yeah, I think so. Like he like sees himself, like looks at himself falling. Does he try looking up at the dragon?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think he does.
This is something I want to propose. Do we want to roll to see if this vision is trying to tell Zuriel what they remembered was inaccurate? That, like, if you look outside of Zuriel's perspective, what actually happened was different.
I like that.
Okay, this is what I want to pitch. I want to pitch that the dragon actually, one, is not the cause of Zuriel losing their wings, and two, may have been trying to save them.
Ooh.
I do this thing sometimes where something will happen, and then to try and rationalize it in my brain, I think of something completely different, and that's the truth that I go with.
Mm-hmm.
So that might have happened to Zuriel as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like in the heat of the moment, in the panic, and only having their perspective, Zuriel inserted things into that moment that didn't actually happen, because how else could they rationalize what the fuck happened? It happened so quickly.
The poor Dargon just wanted to help.
Yeah, and it's like, and again, like I said, it's like a young dragon. I think it's a dragon that like just like it is just also in the in the air for the first time.
It's a hatchling, no!
Basically, so like that was basically how I logicked out how Zuriel didn't get fucking eaten
Yeah.
in
Okay.
one bite. It's like it's a very young dragon, so like if it was just like happening to fly and also saw Zuriel also flying and about to like get hurt by something, I imagine like it's a baby. It's like, oh, I gotta like put my mouth on it. Clearly.
So, my mind.
bit the wings thinking it could hold you.
My mind is going very dark, and I really want to explore this. So let me ask this question in a way that doesn't immediately like give my bias into it. So,
Okay.
we're kind of, I feel like we're all kind of accepting and loving the idea that Zuriel's perspective is wrong and that maybe the dragon was trying to help them. Here's the question I want to pitch. Was something bigger that Zuriel couldn't see about to nab them out of the air?
What would that be?
Exactly.
I
That's
have
what
an
I'm
idea,
thinking.
but it's Zuriel's story, so I want to pitch it only if the question leads in my favor.
I think that would make sense because I think what it is Zuriel didn't notice it in this moment because he's like, so just like, you know, so happy to be like flying away from the mountain to have like some sense of freedom. And then that young dragon that he also didn't notice was looking maybe from like an angle a bit higher, saw Zuriel and was just like, oh hey, that's a nice like little friend, and then looked up and saw something bigger and went, oh no, friend's in danger. And so Zuriel didn't see this like bigger thing.
You know what would be even worse? What if someone or something shot Zuriel out of the air? Just duck hunted Z's ass. And again, the dragon's like above Zuriel and sees the bullet just go right through their wings and is like, oh god, I have to help!
So
Because of course Z wouldn't see a bullet whizzing through their wings.
So this is very much in the same vein of kind of where I'm going with it, but I don't want to reveal too much yet. But so we're agreeing that we're gonna roll on the fate dice, and we're saying it's likely that Zuriel was being attacked by something they couldn't see, and the young dragon got involved to save Zuriel. We're all agreeing with that.
Yes.
Okay, time to roll on the fate dice.
My brain is like, a certain body hopping doctor would love some wings.
Okay,
Right.
this is what I want to this is what I want to offer because it's very related to the story. What little story I already have planned for us. Zuriel was in the wrong place at the wrong time and couldn't have known. In the vision, Zuriel what Zuriel remembers is flying, having their wings literally tugged and then forcibly ripped off of them, and then falling, and then hearing the sound of a large dragon's roar. I want to push. Instead, it was Zuriel's flying. It's something only the dragons can see because it's hiding itself from Zuriel's sight, and it's massive though. So it's a massive, powerful being that Zuriel was unaware of, but the dragon saw from higher above. This smaller dragon, I like the idea of like they're flying with their family. It's like one of their first big flights and they're feeling brave.
Yeah.
Pushes Zuriel, but not enough to get Zuriel completely out of this giant creature's maw, so the wings are ripped off.
Okay.
And the young dragon is eaten instead.
No!
That's so much worse, but I love it, but that's so much worse.
And the roar that Zuriel hears is the wail of despair and anger from the dragon's parents flying above.
Oh, man.
Oh.
And in that moment, as you're watching this happen, Zuriel, you see what looks like you've heard stories of how big dragons get, and yet the neck and head of what looks like this wispy, shadow-like dragon towers over even over the metallic dragon. It's like this.
Oh, fuck.
It's like this essence of something so powerful managed to reach out and try to grasp onto life to consume it. And then you just watch it sink back into the earth with no other trace. What you couldn't see before, you see now. And your god, and the god that saved you is trying to show you.
I fucking love that. That's chilling. I think that's it.
And there's one more thing I want to throw in because it's very related to what's going on. You see in the distance like this twinkle, and you swear you hear in a far off other land the cries of a different baby dragon, and that's when you wake up.
I wake up in like a cold sweat, and I'm like, oh my god. And I just go, now you talk to me?
Now you talking to me? After all this time?
Oh, so now you're talking to me, you piece of shit? Gets like a small headache. Ah, fuck you.
No, I appreciate it, but goddamn, you waited?
Hey, I'm a dragon.
I think Zuriel is just like he's like sitting there for a minute. He's like, I gotta see if we can find that dragon family.
I swear to God, if they're in Dragonfall, I'm gonna flip my shit.
Talk to some dragons.
Dragonfall because of Dragonfell. Is that the end of what you want to do for your scene, Zuriel?
Yeah, I think I'll tell people about my dream when we're all like grouped back together.
Perfect. Okay, Markov, to round us off, after helping Beckett, what is Markov doing?
I think after the whole thing with the underground fighting ring, he's gonna go back to his like little studio apartment, and he's gonna start like washing himself because he's all gross and everything.
Yeah.
And he's like washing his face, and he looks up in the mirror. And he goes, "The fuck is wrong with you?"
Self-hatred.
And like, I have this thing where Markov only smiles when he's around people, so his face is fallen at this point.
Oh.
He's kind of relaxed it.
Yeah.
Do you want Fate to throw you a curveball, or do
Yes.
we want to? Okay, so we're just immediately saying Fate throws you a curveball.
Yeah.
Roll me 2 separate D100s.
Sorry. Already put your mouse already made it really funny.
8623.
Looks like Markov has a monocle.
Oh no, I'm scary
Oh,
and
no.
dark.
Something grabs Markov out of the mirror.
Oh man. Knowing Markov's backstory, I kind of have an idea, but I want to see what
Go
that means
on.
for you first.
So I think just Markov might be having like hallucinations at some point. And like the mirror starts talking back to him. But what was your thing?
Oh shit, that's actually good. I was thinking something.
I could do that for you.
I was thinking something a little more tangible, where Markov is in this bathroom, like, you know, wiping away the heat from the mirror in there, and is just like, you know, what the fuck is wrong with you? And out of the corner of their eye, they happen to notice that like the steam is like not flowing like the rest of the room, and someone is there to attack him.
Yes, I like that.
Okay. So what I want to do, I guess the better question is, Markov, what do you do to defend yourself? Because you haven't really given the implication that you recognize that the assassin is there.
But do I see them in the mirror?
Yeah, you see them in the mirror.
Okay.
I'm looking at a man in the mirror. Oh, shit!
I think I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna look at him. And am I close enough to like grab them or something?
Oh, yeah, I would say you could easily, like, make an attempt to grab them from where they are.
Alright.
And
Markov's gonna, like-
stop this music, and I'm gonna turn on some combat shit.
Markov's gonna pause. He's gonna turn around slightly. He's gonna duck down and try and like tackle him to the ground.
Okay, roll an athletics check. We'll say the DC. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna roll something.
He's going for the military press!
I want to ask the rest of the group, how skilled of an assassin are we working with? Someone better than Markov, or someone a little less skilled? I'm thinking the latter.
Mind if I also ask something?
Yeah.
So, given that it was Beckett and Markov just went home, would Beckett be be home there as well?
I can imagine
like
that
resting
Beckett's
after the
like in
fact?
the other room or somewhere outside of the apartment. Yeah.
Okay, after they do their first actions, can I roll a perception check to see if I can hear their kerfuffle?
I'm gonna leave that up to Ari to see if they want that to happen, since it's their scene.
Oh!
Let's see what happens first.
Fair.
Okay, so
I don't want Markov to get hurt.
I think the assassin is not stronger than Markov. I think they're either as skilled or a little weaker. Like, they're not like the most powerful assassin that could get sent to us. What do you guys think?
I agree, because they're probably skilled in not like physicality, but in
with Markov's like past reputation, they probably would have sent somebody kind of skilled.
Okay, then I'm gonna tell you right
it's a
now.
Speedy little shit.
Then, without even looking at the fate dice or rolling, if that's the way you want it to go, hun, your DC would be a 19.
Oh Jesus!
So you have a hero point.
I do have a hero point. I'm going to use it.
Hey! I imagine the assassin gets ready to like rush you, and you literally catch them by their neck and are just holding them off the ground.
I like that.
Okay.
Who sent you?
I obviously they wouldn't say anything, but I kind of get the idea that like you've got them in such a strong chokehold at this point. This is where I want to ask everyone, and I'm going to lean on Worm here a little bit because I know we talk over you by accident, buddy. How likely do you think it is that the assassin has like a contingency plan that would take him and Markov out?
Oh no.
Oh.
I think very, given if we're going the idea that Markov's reputation is pretty severe.
Because Markov is a dangerous.
You're quiet, buddy.
Markov is dangerous enough that I feel like this isn't any means necessary scenario.
I agree.
It's like either a any means necessary scenario or a I have a cyanide pill in my tooth type shit.
Mm-hmm. Hun, do you feel okay with that?
I like it.
Okay, here we go
Oh
with
god,
the fate
he has
roll.
a glyph of warding on his ass.
Okay, so this
Oh,
is
fuck.
an exceptional yes.
Oh Jesus.
I'm gonna say what happens is, yeah, I like the idea that they have a like you said, a glyph of warding.
Yeah.
So like it's the spell that you have, right?
So how a glyph of warding worked in D&D is that you enchant an item with it essentially.
Okay, but
and
we
put a rune.
immediately we have to throw that out the window because like this is nothing D&D related is going to click here. Don't you have a spell as a rat that works similarly though?
I'm digging right now, but I'm also digging in the overall compendium just in case.
Because you gave something to Zuriel during the fight with the skin stitch.
Oh, you're talking about Sanctuary.
Yeah, can you put that up for me?
Yes, I gotcha.
Okay, creature attempting to attack the target must make a will save each time the target uses a hostile action. Okay, so I kind of like this idea that they activated like a portable sanctuary spell, and at this point, Markov, go ahead and roll me a wisdom save.
Oh dear. He's not very wise.
Come on, Markov.
How do I do a wisdom again?
Open up your character sheet, and then over on the left side,
Okay.
and then just
The
click
dice
wisdom.
under will.
Or will.
Oh, will.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that like after like grabbing them and they failed to stab you, they kind of flash this little pendant in front of you. Here's the thing: roll me a perception check plus 2 circumstance bonus.
Perception plus 2.
And make sure you hit the add
Just
button.
just add 2 to this. Oh Jesus.
Okay, so you don't see it yet, but I'm gonna have you look. I'm gonna have you see it later. So the sanctuary activates, and you drop the assassin as they now attempt to run out of the room. What do you do?
Am I able to try? I have a reaction, to try and grab somebody. I think.
Can you find it
Oh
on
yeah,
your
don't you
character
have
sheet?
the
Yeah.
sentinel thing?
It's like, I would probably use this.
Attack of opportunity to lash out and make a melee strike against the triggering creature. Okay, you can do that, but you have to make another wisdom save or a will save to see if you can.
Okay.
Hit them in the first place.
21, that'll do it!
That
Okay.
easily does it, and that's a crit success, so that just tells it to fuck off.
So yeah, exactly. And then you're going to go ahead and roll the hit. DC is going to be 17.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I have a hero
Oh.
point. I have a hero point.
Okay, you've been stacking them up. All right, all right. Hey!
Oh.
Okay, I like this idea that you literally like grab, smash them into the wall, and being able to break the sanctuary and essentially like what little bit of camouflage they were using. I'm gonna. Would you like me to reveal who the assassin is? Essentially,
Yes.
you recognize, and I'm gonna let you decide like what the emblem is. But now that they're not fogged by the spell nor the heat in the bathroom, you recognize the symbol being of the family you once served.
Oh.
This assassin is from that extended family of you know who.
Hmm. Am I able to Are they wearing like a mask? Am I able to take the mask off?
Yes.
All right. Do I recognize them at all?
You don't. When you actually remove the mask, they've got a build and they have like a face that definitely gives off the, oh yeah, I definitely would have seen you back in my like soldier days, but like you don't recognize them per se.
Okay. I imagine that I've like, we're all like tangled up on the ground. Am I able to like pit him? And, get his arms behind his back?
Yeah. I'm gonna say that with that attack, you'd be able to do that. Go ahead and roll another athletics. DC's gonna be 15.
Yeah.
Yeah! Okay, you pin him down, and then he starts like swearing at you, basically calling you a loyalist dog.
He like makes a weird face, but then like he hasn't tied up, he just says, "Rat!"
See, what I love is that this whole time here's what Beckett was doing that whole time. He heard the kerfuffle and like the thudding and stuff, and what Beckett was doing, he was reading something as he had an ice pack on his cheek, and he's like, I'm not pulling the soap water out of somebody's ass this time. That's gonna be so God, we have another medic here. And then, oh shit!
Oh man, the soap really must have gotten up there.
It's a matter of like, it's Markov yelling for him, so he's like, oh, if I don't, I'm gonna get my head pushed into a wall.
Okay, as you
and then
come
he
up,
opens the door and goes, "What? Okay, Markov, I'm not gonna question about what you're into, but why is that guy in a set like ninja weird ass armor while you're almost naked?"
He's just staring at you, and he gestures to the guy. He says, "He tried to kill me."
Oh.
Kill me?
This is not the sexual thing.
Oh.
Markov's freaky, but not that freaky.
Oh.
I'm going to hold on to him. Go get Wander.
You want me to like put the fear of God in him so he talks?
He smiles down at the guy. He's like, I think I can handle it.
Okay.
Or put the fear of rat into him.
So here's the final question I would want to say before we end this particular scene. And Ari, you get the most say. So we mentioned like cyanide pill. Do we think that this assassin is professional to the degree of having like a cyanide escape? Because his warding failed to protect him.
I think in a world of magic, you do not need a cyanide pill.
Fair argument.
Yeah.
But if he cannot use his hand.
But he cannot use his hands.
Okay.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, if it fits your story to say no, and it's more of just out of my curiosity, I think as Beckett runs off to go get the others, the assassin just says, "Well, now I know how it feels to be you."
We're going to have some fun. You're going to tell me everything you know.
I mean, not as much fun as the prince, right? That was just your special thing.
Like, the corner of his mouth twitches, and I think he, like, punches the guy between his shoulder blades.
And just knocks it, yeah, like, just gets him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the ambush music. And...
Wander! Wander, you blue bastard, where are you? Do I have to talk like rat to summon you? Wander, friend Wander, where are you?
Friend Wander!
Wander rounds the corner. It's like, alright, look, I know you got your personality back, but if you're gonna be racist about it...
You, here,
But if you're gonna be racist about it...
And like, he just cuts off Wander by saying, you, here, now, Markov is doing weird sex stuff with an assassin.
Wander is going to turn around, cover the ears of his new friend, and start to walk the other direction. Or Wander's gonna do that.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, one's like, nope, pay no attention to the zombie rat man. We're just gonna walk away slowly.
No, and then Rat runs over, grabs Wander by the collar. You're either picking up that tiny person or you're leaving them. Come on.
I don't know if
And it's
Calliope would
like,
follow.
"Fuck,
I don't
motherfucker."
think she would.
No, I think Wander would just say, "I'll come back and find you in a second," and like run off to go help.
I think she just gives a thumbs up.
Yeah, I don't think he would involve Calliope in this.
No.
Okay, so now it is 1:06. It's around the time that we would normally wrap up. Is there anything anybody else wants to do or say before we end today's session?
I want to keep going. I don't have physical therapy until 3.
Okay, but Miles has to go to bed.
That's fair.
I'll be fine. It's my day off. I can pass out all day. I can catch up to sleep.
Okay, that's fair. I always thought that like one of us had to stop around this time.
Ellie.
Basically, I work at 5 now. 5 my time now instead of and it's noon my time instead of working at 3 now. So
Okay.
So
Here. Okay. So then I will be the one to say that I'm getting tired and I want lunch.
That's
I'm
fair.
hungry.
you bastard.
that's why I wasn't gonna say anything until prompted because I was like, if Basil wasn't in right now, that's fine. I didn't get a chance to make myself breakfast because I woke up late.
And we've been running for almost 2.5 hours, and that's usually a really strong session. What I will say is, why don't we go ahead and we'll middle ground this? We'll go a little bit further. We'll do the interrogation of the guy, and then we'll call it.
Okay.
All right. How do you feel about that, Worm?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Sick. Okay. Let me
See, I was gonna say, oh, if we're doing saying one last thing, I got a joke. Duriel walks in after everybody's gathered. He's like, guys, I just had the craziest dream. Why the fuck is Markov naked pinning somebody to the ground?
We're discussing sex things. It's just the usual day.
Oh,
He's
God.
wearing pants.
In fact, do the weird assassin sex things. It's a normal day with us.
Wander's not gonna say it, but he's like, I actually really like Beckett. I'm really glad we have Beckett. I like the sass.
Oh, Beckett's gonna be an asshole now. Not like a legitimate asshole, but he's gonna be a sassy bitch.
Yeah. Wander's gonna be like, that's my little man right there.
Little man, I'm older than you, man. I'm almost 100 years older than you. I've been dead.
I've been dead.
Okay, so at this point, I guess we'll go ahead and we can go ahead and keep using the turn order thing, but I think from here on, we'll just be more group-like. How do we want to interrogate this guy?
I think at this point Markov would have tied the guy to the bedpost or something.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say chair, so it's less kinky.
Yeah, okay.
That's what you think.
I'm
we assume-
biting my lips right now?
Can we assume that Sarge and Zuriel are also gonna arrive?
Oh no, I'm thinking that everyone's here at this point.
Okay. Mind the mess, I'm sorry.
Serial guy walks in. Guys, I just had the wildest dream. Why is that man tied to a chair?
Oh, that's that one. And he just points at Markov.
Okay.
He tried to kill me.
All right. So,
Jeez.
starting from the top. Actually, I am gonna make this a turn order thing. 'Cause this will be fun. Broderick, what's the first thing you want to do or say to our interrogating assassin?
Now, I'm not one to judge. This is a lie. I'm judging everything in this room right now.
Motion looks Markov up and down as they're just in a towel.
I can put on pants if you want.
Sarge looks thoughtfully at that, looks at the assassin. Not yet.
Not yet. We're gonna intimidate him by threatening to show him your dick. Markov, I do nothing.
I will not do that.
How would that help? That doesn't help with intimidation. You'd be
Oh,
surprised.
oh wait, no, did y'all not know Markov's cock is like massive? That's gonna intimidate anybody.
I'm gonna grab Wander by the horn.
Sorry, I was just gonna. Can we stop talking about Markov's?
I wasn't talking about that. Anyways, the hell. So listen, son. You did something monumentally stupid. You tried to attack that crazy motherfucker over there. Look at that smile on his face. You really wanted anything to do with that? Come on now.
Oh, on the contrary. Making sure that I get the smile off that bastard's face was exactly what I wanted to do.
And how did that work out?
Fair. I mean, still better than the prince, right, Markov?
He like growls. I'm gonna say, remember like a few sessions back where I said that Markov had like a shrine to the prince in his room?
Yup.
That's on full display right now. But whenever the guy mentions the prince, Markov is gonna growl.
I think when that guy makes like a sassy snapback, like literally trying to get a rise out of Markov, Zuriel sends his snake to just kind of like move up the chair and then like hiss in this guy's face.
Oh, okay. This is where I need to roll something. So I believe that this guy, because I know what's going on with the story of this, do you guys think he cares about his life?
No.
I don't know.
Because where I'm wanting to pitch the story, I'm also saying no. I don't think he cares about his own safety. He wouldn't have attacked Markov like this if he did.
Yeah, that's so true.
So I'm going to go ahead and add a +1 to that. Yeah, he does. He almost seems... I'm going to say Zuriel, roll a perception check.
Okay. I gotta open my character sheet back up. I had to refresh earlier. Whoop. Whoop.
Okay, wow, damn, good perception.
Mm-hmm.
So you see this. You notice that while he can tell the snake is there, he doesn't care. Like, immediately you can tell, oh, this guy is desperate, and he already sees himself as dead. Threatening him is going to do nothing.
Okay. Let's see about that. So Sarge is going to pull out his healer's tools and make a show of checking the guy over for any injuries from his scuffle with Markov.
There's a giant bruise on his back.
Yep. On the right side of his face and his back.
And while seemingly tending to those injuries, but not actively doing anything about them, Sarge is just gonna say, "Now, I'm not I'm not quite the martial force that my friend here is. I'm actually trained to patch people up, keep them in the fight, such as it were. And I really want you to stick around for this. You see, I want you to live a long, long life. Now, whether it's a complete life, well, that depends on you. Otherwise, you may find yourself in an alleyway somewhere with no arms, no legs, and no eyelids."
Roll an intimidation check +1.
I can do that.
Can I also help him on this?
How do you want to help?
Steal my eyelids.
Beckett just
Rip off his eyelid.
no. Beckett sits there, and remember, Beckett is missing one of his eyelids. He sits there and he rolls his eye
Ooh.
a little bit.
Okay.
And then as it
Zuriel
recenters,
stepped out
he
of the
looks
room
at
for a minute.
him and then tears off the bandages on his left arm, and he says, "It's not fun missing a couple things, I'll tell you that."
Okay, roll a medicine check, Beckett, and you have to beat a 15.
Okay.
16.
That's a
Okay.
16.
So Broderick, you now get a +2 to this intimidation check.
You're a doctor and you don't have anything in medicine.
It's my casting. It's my casting how I help people.
Uh,
And that's charisma, not wisdom.
He's good at
Alright.
giving you drugs, not patching you up.
That's what Broderick's for.
Okay, 18 will actually do it. You watch as the guy does shudder a little at that. It's like, okay. I don't exactly want. I don't exactly want to live a torturous few moments of my life. I'm trying to figure out what this fucking dude's accent is.
well, Markov is kind of Russian.
In Soviet Russia. I will say I am already being threatened by my employer to not fail with death. You won that lottery with horrendous life, so fine. Looks over to Markov. Let's chat.
He's gonna pull up a chair. Who sent you?
Who do you think? And I'm not being cute. You know who sent me.
I totally forget the name of the empire that destroyed the castle. Oh my god.
No, it's okay. We don't have to worry about it right now. We can explain it later.
Okay. But it's the old empire.
Good.
It's Tikal. It's the Tikal empire.
Yes. Good. Actually, everybody who wants to can roll a knowledge check. So just flat D20 plus your intelligence.
Random question.
Yeah.
Random question.
Yeah.
Markov, was this
What?
place perhaps in a swamp?
Uh,
But it's a little long shot here.
Probably
I don't
not.
think so.
No.
Damn it! I was begging for a bonus for this. What did you say the rule was?
D20 plus your intelligence.
Plus my
Oh. But you know what? That
He ain't
that
been-
makes sense for Zuriel.
He ain't been out the mountain.
I forgot I was muted. I said the nat one makes sense.
Okay.
Rat's
How
eyes
do
did a
I?
thing and split both ways again.
So at the bottom
How do?
of the chat, Worm, just like hit D20 and then whatever your intelligence is, just add a plus to whatever that D20 is going to be.
Okay, I just have to. Let me see here. Okay, so it's +1.
Grandpa's learning how to computers.
No, damn you!
Grandpa's
I
learning how to
had it
computer.
selected.
There you go.
No, I'll never learn computers.
Okay. I feel
It came
like
to nothing, anyways.
with what Wander knows is that he knows that it's a noble family from the far north that had a bit of a falling out with one of its extended of its family, and that kingdom burned to the ground. I think that's about the same that Beckett knows, is that there was a extended family of royals, and one of them was attacked before any of the other royals could like rally and save them.
Why did they attack?
Can't really. Can't really say. I have to keep like whispering. Like that's the key to get into
Soviet
it.
Russia.
No, please. We all know what attacked that day. It wasn't some squabble between the nobles. Actually, I have a question for Ari. With Wander being there, how would this guy react? Because I remember that as far as anyone knows, it was a combination of just random attack and war on the kingdom and the Wanderer.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, I was just trying to make sure if I remember like what people think happened.
Yeah. I think the Wanderer might be a bit of a scapegoat, honestly.
Yeah, and I think that this assassin goes, we both know what happened, and then like motion toward over to Wander. That one's great, what the fuck ever. And Wander like points to him like, me? Because Loc doesn't know anything about this.
Why did the Empire attack home?
What the fuck are you talking about, Markov? It was that thing's progenitor.
You say that thing again, I will make sure to start early.
Wander's gonna like.
He leans.
Wander's gonna pat Rat on the shoulders like, it's okay, buddy. I appreciate it, but it's fine. Like, just sit back and listen.
He leans forward on his knees. He says, "I'm not going to ask again. Why did you destroy my home?"
Okay, so I have a thing for what this character's doing. Do we want to follow through with it, or do we want to leave it up to fate?
Let's have fate decide.
Okay, here's my pitch. The assassin is being forced to do this by the nobles, but he doesn't know that the nobles attacked their own.
Okay.
So I think, yes, the assassin is unaware and is being used by the nobles. Any objections or additions?
I like it.
No objections.
Go for it.
Okay, I'll add +1 to our likely on that, and the +2 to the chaos factor. Oh, no! Okay, it's an exceptional no. They were completely in on it. Oh, so this changes where I wanted to take this, but in a fun way. Okay, we've already, like, put the screws on them and threatened them. Whether or not we would actually do that is up in the air.
Yeah, I think if people start actually doing eyelid stealing, Zuriel might have to step in.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, wait a minute.
But it's a good bluff. It's a good bluff.
Yeah.
I think at this point the assassin just finally goes, why do the nobles do anything? I'm just a loyal servant to the higher powers that be. It's not my question to ask. It's my question to act. And if all of you would have figured that out a long time ago, we'd all be living very different lives.
I think Markov like sits back in his seat. He still has a towel around his waist, and he just kind of crosses his arms in front of his chest. What would he say?
I do have one thing that the assassin can still say.
Huh.
If it's any consolation to you, comrade, I don't know which noble put the hit out on you and your little prince. That was not information shared with me.
He raises an eyebrow. And the prince?
Well, the entirety of the empire, but let's be honest. They wanted to get rid of the competition. You were just a little wall in front of that goal. But
Me
then
And the prince? The prince is dead. He died in the fire.
you... Oh! Oh! You don't... Oh, I'm not saying anything else. You can cut me up all you want. I'm taking
I'm gonna
this
grab
one
him by
to
the further
grave.
shirt. What do you know?
A
Tell me.
lot more than you, apparently!
I'm sorry, there's language he kills me.
For every answer that you do not give, I will cut off one finger.
You can...
Markov, cool it. You're just giving him what he wants.
You can cut me up as much as you want, but you'll need to just understand this. No matter how much you torture me, nothing will be worth giving up this tidbit of information. I will revel in seeing you suffer not knowing what I know.
So,
Can I ask you guys something?
question.
Let's go to Beckett first, then to Broderick.
Beckett?
Do you guys mind if I show him the other side?
What?
No.
Hmm?
Oh. Go for it. I'm gonna like lift him up and then I'm gonna drop him like on the ground so that he's like on his side while it's still tied to the chair.
Wander's going to slightly pull on Beckett's shoulder and he's going to whisper to him, "Don't actually do it, but threaten him. I'm going to see if I can trick him to speak up."
You got this, man.
Clutches onto his shoulder. "You just got your humanity back, Beckett. You're not losing it, and I'm not going to sit here and see it. Bluff."
I'm bluffing. I'm bluffing.
It's gonna let go of him, and Wander's gonna like slowly walk around to the backside and let Beckett do his thing.
I'm
Beckett
just gonna talk to him.
I just want to
walks
talk to
over.
him.
And he actually sits down and gets like just squatting and looks at him in the eye and he says, "I bet you can already tell what I am, right? I'm not really hiding it that much anymore."
Before we go any further, Broderick, what did you want to do?
Oh no, I was going to loosen his tongue.
Okay, so this is
Feels like
healthy.
you mean it literally.
Okay, as you're doing that, so the assassin's going to say, "A very, very, very ugly dog."
That's one thing. The other is that I'm an undead. You are looking at a zombie, my friend.
You are very articulate for a zombie.
Hmm.
I
Apparently
just
I'm
got that
special.
one back.
Apparently I'm special.
Oh, thank you. And then he looks back and he says, "I've seen what's on the other side. And I'll have you know a little something about myself. Let these guys know a little something about myself that I remember. My family have this little story, right? We were supposedly heirs of a goddess. The goddess of passing. Safir. We all just called her Safi. It was a good slogan for a clinic to have. If medicine couldn't do it, we can give you peace. I thought that was just a story.
Oh, give me 1 second, guys. I actually need to take this call. Okay, sorry about that. Delivery guy was trying to get something. I think it's one of Ari's Christmas gifts, and they didn't put the address on the box.
Oh boy.
Oh, God.
Okay. So with that, continue.
I could have sworn that was a fable, a tall tale, a nice slogan for a clinic. But, you know, I am undead. That means I passed. And I could have sworn for the slightest second I saw the other side. And I could show that to you right now. All I have to do, and he puts his hand and lets his claws, like, just ever so slightly dig into his skin, right at the bottom of his rib cage, and he says, all I have to do is push, grab your heart, and hold it still. Now, you might be happy because of that, because I'm just giving you a death right now. But here's the thing. I, from passing, have gained magic. I don't know how, I don't know why. And I can bring you back. Again, and again, and again. But I'm not going to. Because there's one thing that is scarier than anything that you could ever think of.
Leeches.
And that scariest thing is forgiveness. Letting you live with this. How many lives have you taken, my friend? Needlessly. For money. Because you're told to. How many times have you seen the light snuffed out of somebody's eyes? How many times have you taken somebody's life early? How many times have you walked away from someone dying? How many times have you forsaken somebody? How many mistakes have you made in your life?
Is there a stopping point between here and the fucking point?
The point is, I've seen one of the hells, and they don't forgive.
Ooh, okay. They have to make what kind of a save? A will save.
They have to will save, DC 18.
Okay. I'm gonna give them a +3 because they are a bit of a formidable being. So. Let's see. Get rid of that. Ooh!
So, here's
Not
the thing.
Not one.
What everyone sees is Beckett's hand actually not actually dig in or do anything, but something else reaches in, grabs something else, and pulls. And a strand comes out of it. And he holds it up. And he just says, I could send you to hell right now, motherfucker.
This is your femoral artery.
Here's a sight of it. And he snaps it, and he dies. And then he snaps again, and it reconnects, and he wakes up. And that is why he's frightened 3 and fleeing. Because he saw hell.
I like that, and what Wander will do is, like, nodding at Rat, like, that was terrifying, but good work, is immediately gonna, like, hold on to the guy and, like, just shake him and just keep repeating, like, what is he, tell Markov what he wants to know, what did you mean? And I think at this point, the guy is just too terrified, he speak on it. So here is where I want to ask Ari something. This dude is very knowledgeable and he's very frightened. Do you think he just tells Markov what he wants to hear out of fear, or do you think he just so out of his mind frightened he spills it all?
I don't think he has the capacity to lie at this point.
Okay. This is what the assassin just starts blurting out as like Wander's holding him still, and he just starts screaming at Markov, genuinely out of fear. It's a combination of, you surrounded yourself by monsters, what the fuck did I get myself into? The nobles are insane. And he says something to the kin of, if this are the allies of the prince's pet, the prince will kill us all.
Beckett then stands up, turns around and says, "All right, enjoy your nobles or whatever killing you and go in there, buddy." And he starts walking out of the room.
So Markov, with that, the assassin admits the prince is still alive, and it seems that the prince is making moves against his own family.
Markov's not gonna move for a second. I think as this guy is like like still tied to the chair, he's like hyperventilating. I think Markov is just gonna pick him up by the chair, by the back of the chair, and just walk out of his apartment.
Just walk him out?
Yeah. But he's going to take the guy to like the jail in town. He still has a towel around him.
Doesn't get dressed, and then the guards at the front just like sitting like, God, what a slow ass, what the fuck?
This is what I want to ask.
Moist.
Is Markov smiling?
I don't think so.
Because we've implied that Markov actively puts the smile on. I don't think he is. I think he's just genuinely pissed, like gritting his teeth.
Yeah. Like, as Markov goes up to the guards with the guy, like, over his shoulder with the chair, he says, "Open one of the cells."
They just do it. We're heroes here. Like, they just listen.
They do it,
He's
but all of
going-
them are like, why is he naked? I don't know, man, but that is a damn fine ass.
He's going to chuck the guy into the cell so hard that the chair breaks. And then he's going to turn around and start walking away.
Where does Markov go back to?
I think his apartment so he can get dressed.
Good.
The
good.
guards
Okay,
just
I was
close
gonna
the
say,
door and
Where
like
is he going, and does he put on pants?
He does put on pants.
the guards close the door, and then one of them's like, "Did you see it, dude? It was like an elephant's trunk."
Stop it!
They both faced up each other.
He was in a towel.
He was in a towel.
Stop it!
Towels wave.
You go back to your apartment and you grab up your stuff. Do you leave the apartment after that, or do you just stay there?
I am going... Markov is gonna, like, take inventory of his apartment real quick, make sure everything is in order, try to figure out for, like, half a minute how the guy got in, gets frustrated, gives up on that, and he's gonna go back to the jail, now fully clothed, and just grab a chair and sit in front of the cell where the guy is.
Oh, shit. This guy is not feeling okay. He is terrified. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Zuriel looking at Beckett at some point. Remind me not to get on your bad side. God damn.
God damn.
I hate people.
Did you
And
say
then he
you
just-
eat people?
Yeah, like, did you think I didn't while I was trying to survive without knowing what food was back in the day? How to make it?
Okay, focus.
Okay. Markov is just sitting in front of the cell with the guy still in there. He's probably just gonna stay there for a while.
You just stare at him menacingly.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Wander's gonna go to the guards and say to like pull Markov off as much as they can if like Markov starts beating this man to death, because like we clearly need more info out of him. But is otherwise gonna tell everyone else, I think Markov needs some alone time.
Agreed.
In the meantime, I can I mean, there's kind of no better time to pitch this, but I got a new focus for us when everyone's ready to leave Banaha.
Speaking of focus, Z, didn't you just say you had a weird dream?
Yeah, I had a really fucked up dream. I think it was like a message.
You were very excited to talk about it. Do you want to talk about it?
I mean, I can talk about it. I'm still fucking stunned from
Well,
what just happened.
Well,
Makes sense.
But before we start trying to psychoanalyze Z, like, really quick, we're going to Dragonfall soon.
Okay.
All right.
I was not gonna lie, I was expecting more of a questioning of why, but perfect.
I don't think I have the capacity to question right now.
And I don't really
But
have
I'll
anywhere
humor-
to go without you guys, so I'm just stuck with you.
I'll humor you. Why? You wanted me to ask.
I did. I just I don't know. I was expecting more resistance or queries, but there's apparently
You're usually on Trust and One. What's your perspective?
Say what?
I said, Sarge, you're usually the questioning one. What's your perspective?
I'm still just sort of figuring
Everybody's just
things out over
fucking
here.
reeling.
Okay.
Oh god, we lost Miles.
We learned a lot of stuff.
We
today,
did. Because of that, like Wanda's gonna say, it's for very personal reasons. I'll explain later, but just giving everyone a heads up, that's why we're going to Dragonfall. It's a very personal matter of mine. Looks over back to the guards building. I will elaborate on my personal history when everyone else has had enough of that.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I just wanted to get money, but no. Apparently.
You're the one that brought Markov here.
Yeah, no, that's what Wander's thinking. It's just like, I just wanted to make money and do good, and now somehow one of the lost puppies I brought along with me has a very, very heavy espionage theme about them. I don't know. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed.
I think as everybody's walking back, Zuriel's finally just like, yeah, because like Zuriel does not understand exactly when the best time to say things are, and so like everyone's walking back to their homes, and Zuriel finally goes, so I think the dragon that attacked me is actually a different dragon that actually attacked me, and it's a lot bigger, and I think it like just, I don't know, the dream was really weird. I think like fused with the earth. I don't fucking know.
Zuriel's just saying this out loud to themselves, practicing what they're gonna say.
Beckett was standing right next to them and is like doing the pointing thing, like, so one dragon ate the other dragon, and then one dragon got angry. That wasn't the second dragon, and his eyes start going cross-eyed. He's like, oh god, I'm doing this again.
Zuriel's having like this conversation in his head, and then he just like blurts out, I think I need to go talk to a family of dragons. Like just while everybody else is like having dinner together or something. Everybody sits down for dinner. He's like sitting at the table with his food. He's just like staring intently into his bowl, and then like before anybody can ask him what's wrong, he just looks up and goes, I think I need to talk to a family of dragons.
I like this idea that like everyone's like standing around as Wander saying I have to go to bed, and then you just blurt that out, and at that point, Wanda just silently walks away. It's like, no, we're doing this tomorrow. We're doing this tomorrow.
This is a tomorrow problem.
Sarge at this point remembers the reason he ended up going in fighting in the first place. About that, something you might want to marinate on as you
We're
sleep.
doing it tomorrow.
I met
That
the
was a
Scorpion
good
lady again.
You once again, you just hear Wander just in the distance. Fuck.
Tomorrow.
It was fun.
I think that's a good stopping point. Oh shoot! All right, guys, give shout outs and brag about yourselves so we can wrap up.
Who starts?
Miles, Cade's robotic nut.
No.
That over on Twitch. Good night.
Wormhole.
Sop.
Say what you doing, mate.
Anyways.
Ari.
Cherry Coke Royal on basically any platform. I do art and stuff. Yeah.
Ellie.
Ellie2Jewel on Twitch. I've been trying to do my Happy Friday morning streams. I haven't been able to start them yet. I tried to do one this Friday and my audio wouldn't work, so we're gonna try again this week.
And I'm Basil, not the herb. I'm going to be playing a lot of gacha games and RPGs in the near future. I'm also going to be starting to produce story videos and some thoughts with other artists drawing things for me. Check that out on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all the things. It's some combination of Basil, not the herb, or Basil NTH. Have a good night. We're going to go and raid someone.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm so happy Baz looking at the OBS, not at the current screen. Because I have corrupted it, and I am very happy.
Oh, God. We're going to send you guys over to Maris Mermaid because they are doing arts, and they are good at drawing and doing 3D models, and I think it'll be good for everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbay.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, the art category got fucked. Were you able to see any of that weird-ass drama, Miles?